Leo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In these weekly videos, I review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they interact with your natal sun and what that means for your bottom line. All you need to know and understand this video is your birth date. That's it, because I'll translate the rest of it for you. We're going to start out really, really big with the general stuff, but also the grandiose stuff, the big stuff, the stuff that we all should be aware of. And then I will narrow that down into Leo-specific information. And then I'll break things down into the 3 decans of Leo. A decan is a group of 10 degrees. And by separating it this way, it helps astrologers understand what angles your natal sun is forming to the other planets and what impact that has on your life. So that's how we get real specific for your specific birth date. Let's start really broad, and there is a lot of stuff, especially for you guys. I mean, are you ready for the big thud? Because your sun is coming home. And especially Leo ones, those of you born at the beginning of Leo season, right there at like the 22nd, 23rd, 24th of July, it's you guys that are gonna, boom, feel it, because it's like the sun is transiting, and the transit always has this tremendous energy to begin with. But it happens on the 23rd, so simultaneously on the 23rd, Venus also goes into retrograde in Leo. And the sun isn't just the sun right now. The sun is square to the nodes, which have just changed into new zodiac signs. So they're adjusting to this new energy and the new mentality that they're making us focus on and recalibrate. And then there's Pluto, and that's the big one, because Pluto gives so much weight and gravity, so much more weight and gravity to the sun. And so, bam, this is power. This is courage. This is relentless drive to get things done regardless. And it's also impactful, powerful change in the way you live and the way almost like you're changing the world. So if your focus shifts because of that nodal shift to the duality between your partnership and your singularity or individualism, it's because it's supposed to. And this toggle point, or this powerful shift in your life, will definitely be partaking in that recalibration of trying to rediscover or find a way to make that duality balance out. We have other stuff going on too. Venus herself, while she's in retrograde, is going to, at least in this first week, be conjunct to Mercury, which means beautiful, fluent, and graceful speech and communications. Stuff that everybody will want to listen to, maybe even in some ways what will make you even more attractive. And that's especially going to be impacting Leo 3s, those of you born more toward the Virgo cusp, more toward the end of Leo season. We'll get into that more deeply as well. But Venus is also sextile to the South Node, which is in her home domicile of Libra, and trine to the North Node, which means this is a rebalancing of your value systems, what you value, what you're attracted to, and whether or not you've put too much attention or focus onto the wrong things. So this is a definite time to recalibrate and rediscover some past opportunities from the past that could really harmonize the future. And so this retrograde could be very, very good for you. We also have Mars in pretty particular situations. So Mars is in Virgo, but Mars is in opposition to Saturn, which is very contentious and resentful and angry energy, especially toward laws, rules, and regulations, feeling like you just can't get anything done. But then now, this week, Mars is also trying to Jupiter, which is an optimism and almost like a blessing when it comes to any kind of motion, motivation, or progress energy you put toward forward motion this week. So that's really highly effective, especially when you're getting this resistance from all these restrictions on you. This is very much a leap of faith. This is very much, we need to find faith again. I'm doubting faith. Jupiter is semi-square to Neptune. There is a sense of, I am doubting faith, or I'm having trouble with all of this energy of I don't know, or it's unseen. You know, it's like you need something tangible. So it's challenging you to take that leap of faith this weekend. Those of you that do will be very, very blessed with success. What do I want to say? Mercury all week long is square to Uranus. Now that could cause complications, because where Mercury-Venus conjunction is really, really nice and really, really supportive and romantic energy. And togetherness, communicative, like wanting to listen to each other. The square to Uranus is a challenge, and it could be a challenge to social media. Like we want to listen to each other, but new tech is actually creating a challenge with that, or there's big glitches in tech. So it could feel like a higher end Mercury retrograde of sorts. So that'll be interesting for us to navigate this week. Let me see what else. Oh, the 22nd, I wanted to draw your attention to the 22nd. On the 22nd, there's a grand trine that forms this week between Pluto, Uranus, and the moon, all in earth signs. And a trine is sort of a lackadaisical slacking, or an easing off of these energies, of these energies. And the moon, while this happens, I think, is in direct opposition to Neptune. So there is this sense of this easement in what's regular and what's normal, and maybe a change comes through, or a dream slips through, or an illusion slips through, or maybe we were under the delusion that something had to be the way it was, and now we're starting to see that's not the case. So the 22nd would be a really interesting day to watch. Just an FYI. Let's go into Leo-specific energy, shall we? Leo-specific energy I take from two things. Two things. One thing is Leo itself, the zodiac sign. I say, what's going on in Leo? So we'll talk about that. And then I say, what's going on with your ruling dignitary, the sun, which a big thing is, right? It's transiting. Leo season is going to be Leo season. The sun is very happy, comfortable, confident, and even a little bit cocky, and so gloriously, beautifully itself when it is in Leo. So sun in Leo is a very nice, beautiful, happy time for you. In Leo season, as of the 23rd, in Leo, the zodiac sign, the sun from the 23rd through the end of this week, which is the 27th, the sun will move between 0 and 4 degrees Leo. That's what you've got in Leo. And then later on in Leo, and then further on in Leo, you have Venus at 28 degrees, which goes in retrograde at 28 degrees, also on the 23rd. You also have a Mercury in Leo that's moving between 19 and 28 degrees this week. And then you have Mercury-Venus conjunction definitely by, say, the 24th, almost, a tight conjunction at 28 degrees. It's on the 27th that they're going to be perfectly conjunct at 28 degrees. But even before then it starts. So about from the 24th on, there is that conjunction between Mercury and Venus in the third decan of Leo, which will be really nice for your ability to speak to your loved ones, speak with love, or communicate lovingly. Let's go into what the sun is doing, shall we? The sun, as I've mentioned, is moving into Leo. Happy Leo season, everybody. God bless. I hope it's a beautiful one for you, because last year was a hell of a shit show. This year it does start off pretty harsh with Pluto in opposition to the sun, so this just makes you even more powerful, formidable, and intimidating as fuck to people. Plus you're square to the nodes, so you're gonna have to face whatever situation with regards to individuality versus partnership, big dynamic changes in your life. There is a grand square all week long because the sun is going to be in opposition to Pluto and square to the nodes. Pluto square to the nodes, grand square, there's tension building. There is compression happening to force something into being, right? Almost like a diamond, like a coal being compressed into a diamond. Something is changing and metamorphosizing inside of you, and that's going to be permanent, and it's great because it's a higher form of yourself. So yay, sun in Leo. And then we have on the 25th square to the moon, The sun will be square to the moon on the 25th, which could be a little bit more emotional, especially for you Leo ones, but definitely a sense of tension between what you feel and who you know yourself to be versus who you want people to see you as. Just this dynamic of the unseen and the seen, expectations of the show, that kind of energy. So it could be a little bit more emotional for you, especially Leo ones. On the 21st, so today, the sun is going to be semi-square to the moon conjuncting Mars. So you could get extra angry, intense, or pop offish. And the fact that this is the beginning of the week and the sun is almost coming into, it's like that could be a pretty contentious day. So do everything you can to watch your anger and stay away from situations. Not that you should avoid situations, but know that you'll be more pop-offish and quick to anger than and motivated to get in people's faces to force change on that day. And then on the 24th to the 25th, your natal suns, so it's 24th through the 25th that your natal suns will be square to the moon. I'm sorry, that the sun will be square to the moon, which means right after this very formidable, angry, I insist period, on the 21st, you get to this, I'm not sure of myself. Maybe I didn't make the right decision. So in other words, watch what you decide and watch how you let your emotions be acted upon, because there could be some regret come the 25th. Just an FYI. All right, let's go into the decans. If you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Leo, then you are Leo 1, because your sun is in the first decan of Leo. It's in the first group of 10 degrees. This correlates to July Leos. Anybody born between the 22nd and the 31st of July, you are Leo 1s. Definitely Cancer cuspers. Venus is going into your natal suns are conjunct the sun. Now, if you're a Cancer cusp, they're conjunct the sun already. But all of you by the 23rd will be conjunct the sun. And it's especially powerful for those of you who are 22nd, 23rd, 24th. Absolutely. You're in opposition to Pluto all week long, 100%. And that will stay even when the sun continues to go deeper into Leo, which means there's already major changes in your life, but this is going to be exacerbated and energized, and you'll have more confidence to drive it forward consciously. And then you have the nodal shift. So this shift in what you're changing or how your life is changing could be happening now through the duality between your partnership and your individuality, and shifts and compromises or recalibration that has to be made there. And then you have a long-term quincunx to Saturn, which means laws, rules, regulations, authority, what is expected, debts, all of those could be frustrating you or somehow just agitating you from the inside. Overall, this is a very intense and powerful week for you, where you could make formidable change, as long as it's not through anger, because even if it is through anger and pop-offishness and defensiveness, it's still going to change, but the outcome might not be so great. So it's really important for you guys to find a grounding energy and a wonderful place to put those extra charges this week, so that the energy is used for good instead of pushing you in the direction that you have no control over. Just an FYI. Okay, so let's go on to Leo 2s. So Leo 2s, if your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Leo, you're Leo 2s. This correlates to birthdays between, say, October 1st through the 10th. This would be mid-season Leos. So if you're born around the 9th, 10th, this conjunction, there's a conjunction to Mercury on the 21st and 22nd, but only you guys, toward the end of Leo 2. So on the 21st, 22nd, your natal suns will be conjunct, 21st, 9th or 10th. If your birthday's around the 9th or 10th, your natal suns will be conjunct to Mercury from the 21st to the 22nd. So in the very beginning of this week, that conjunction to Mercury is going to really help you with speech, getting your thoughts together, being particularly intelligent and articulate, and it could really, really, really create wonderful opportunities for you to communicate to yourself very clearly. Your natal suns are square to Jupiter. That means wanting a lot and wanting it rushed, and really being willing to expand, but almost it's too fast. Something is holding you back. So it can be a very frustrating and agitating energy that also kind of puts spurs into you to push you forward. So you definitely want to grow, but it's not happening fast enough for you. And then there's a trine to Chiron, which is long term. The trine to Chiron, I think, especially for you guys, that would be also the people born around the 9th or 10th of August. The trine to Chiron is going to make that square to Jupiter intense in that you want to make change for good or for better, or so that you can heal yourself or others. And so that's where the tension will really be, not feeling like you're able to do enough. Go slow, count your blessings, and be more compassionate to yourself. Count the blessings that you make in other people's lives as well, not for conceit, but just to remind yourself that even if it moves slower than you want it to, it is still moving. Okay, let's go to Leo 3s. So Leo 3s, your natal suns are conjunct to Venus and Mercury, which makes them very, very active this week. They're also square to Uranus, which makes them very, very surprising, frustrated, and unexpected. It's almost like you're going to want your independence. You're going to want to be unique and individual and seen as a unique individual. So this characterization of the nodes could be super powerful for you. This sense of really being put into your face, this tendency toward independence and maybe wanting to try something new. So you could get very frustrated and agitated this week in your new relationships, but flirting will be very easy for you because of that Mercury Venus conjuncting your sun. So there's this energy of, oh, you will be able to swoon people. You could be especially flirtatious with people that you were never attracted to before, but suddenly it's like you want excitement. So maybe even excitement through some sort of, I don't know, poetic interaction, just trying different things or experiencing different ways to communicate. Could even be through technology, becoming especially flirtatious over the internet. But remember, Mercury is square to Uranus too, so that stuff could come up and smack you in the butt. Just an FYI. And then, especially if you're born around the 11th or 12th of August, your natal suns are trying to Chiron as well. So there is that push toward or drive to heal your conditions, your challenges, and to use that to actually help to heal others as well. That motivation to whatever traumas you've been through, help others and help yourself in the process. So watch out this week for, there's just this could be the oddest week ever. This is almost could be a week of, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know, what happens on vacation stays on vacation. Venus in retrograde could bring up some old proclivities or inclinations that you haven't gotten to try or test out, and you may do that flirtatiously over the internet thinking, oh, I'm not really cheating. This is an outlet for it. So just an FYI. I'm not encouraging it, but that is the mentality. You let me know in the comments below, because you know I'd love to know. And do come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card message. Leo, don't forget, subscribe to this channel so you can get your message every single week. And I'll see you guys in the videos. Bye.